throughout your life?
Yes, I can do it. Um, as a child, even as an adult. Yes. Until I started coming up for myself.
Why, what, why do you think that you were a target?
Well, when I was younger, when I was a little girl, I was small and shorter and so I was quiet and I was timid. Yeah. So they figured, they could pick on me every day. So one day they came and I said, no, no, no more of this here. And I said, no, God doesn't want you to do this to me. And ever since then, we were like friends. Because we were all in Sunday school during that time. I wasn't in except
The first time they started bullying you, what did you do? Did you tell them the door or?
I went somewhere and cried. Yes, I went somewhere and cried. And I talked to the Lord about it. I was a little girl, but I need to talk to the Lord. Yes, so when you talk to the Lord, things works out for you. And not to retaliate in the wrong way. Even as a child, if you come into one of the Bible classes, you learn that in Bible school. Not to retaliate in the wrong and negative way.
Did any of that ever affect your mental health?
Probably did. Until I got to be a adult and I started really reading my Bible and talking to the Lord more. So he intervened, yes, and let me know that I'm just as good as anyone else.
Has anybody else been a victim of bullying or the one that was doing the bullying? Or has anyone ever felt like they had mental health issues or anything in your life affect your mental health?
When I was coming up in school, when I was young, I guess the older kids, the upper class, they would always, well, let's pick on you, they would sometimes take you around to somebody. But I learned at an early age, I had to protect myself. Of course, I had two brothers. So my mother instilled in us to always take care of each other. So they would, if anything would happen, they would always be there to take care, back me up. So it was always that, I guess, in school, somebody would always would pick on you, try to bully you or something like that. So that happened. But my father, he taught us early to defend ourselves. So I guess that really stopped that because they wouldn't bother us because they know that we would actually, well, back then we used to fight. So they know that we would fight them, so they wouldn't bother us.
So as you know, there are different types of bullying. You got a physical, online, verbal. What would y'all say is the most impactful or obvious way for most people to like bullying?
I would think mostly, but back when I would think when I was growing up, it was mostly physical. I know right now there's probably different kinds of bullying because a lot of people are online and on the computers and stuff like that. But back when I was growing up, it was mainly just physical. They would always take something from you, try to take something from you. But if you would fight them, they would that was out there. So you had to actually fight back in those days. But now I know now it's probably different because a lot of them today is online bullying. I guess on computers. I don't know. I just heard of it. I don't know exactly what it is today, but mostly back then it was just mostly physical, physical bullying.
Like Elder Cook said, there was a lot of physical and verbal bullying back in the day. Verbal bullying back then was more just kind of cracking jokes on people, and it didn't seem that like bad back then because that was just the norm. You crack jokes, people crack jokes back. But when it came to being physical, that was the number one thing. But nowadays, with everybody having access to the internet, like Elder Cook said, they don't have to know you. They don't have to be anywhere near you. They can see a picture of you and say, "Well, I'm going to bully that person." And now you can't stop them from sending whatever it is until you block them. But then they'll just make another account, or they'll have more people, and people will see that, and they'll start to say, "Oh, okay, well, she's getting picked on. Let me go ahead and pick on her too." And some of the things people say nowadays, people are really sensitive, so some of those things really mean. And I've known people who have been cyberbullied, which is probably the biggest thing today, and they did not take it well. It does definitely affect your mental health because you may start to believe some of these things that people say from other people say. So cyberbullying is definitely the biggest thing.
Like Kenny said, cyberbullying is for the youth now. Cyberbullying is the most effective way that anybody does their bullying. You can say anything you want, especially on Instagram, because that's what most of our youth uses. On Instagram, you can say anything you want behind the screen. You can even personally text them or post stuff about them on stories and everything. And nobody will ever know who you're talking about unless it's the person that you're bullying. Because they never put a name. They always find some type of way to hide it. And if you confront them or block them, like he said, they'll just end up making another page, and it'll be worse because you'll start seeing them around in school or in more public places, and you can never know what they're gonna do to you. But unlike physical bullying, which there's another way, especially in your middle school, elementary type places, it's more difficult because there's more kids around, and no matter what you say, it'll always be your word against theirs. If there's nothing that no teachers are looking, they can't really tell if it's true or not. So you never really know who's watching or if they're gonna believe you, and you are too scared to ask them for help, what to do. So I know a lot of youth today, they have mental health issues. Most of it is because of the bullying.
Well, I heard that, different schools right now, they're trying to cut that out. And what they're going to do is, like if you have a phone or something like that, when you come to school, you want to lock it up, but you're not going to have it. While you're in school, you can have it once you leave. So I think a lot of states is actually going to work on that. They're working on that right now. A lot of states is not allowing the kids to have their cell phones in school because of a lot of that cyberbullying, I guess, in school. So they're trying to work on that situation right now. I heard that they're going state by state, and so far I think it's about 3 states already been started. Eventually, I think all of them will probably.
I don't know if that'll be effective or not, because some kids, they have more than one phone.
Yeah.
So they might give up one phone, but they'll have another phone that they keep with them, and they can still do who knows what with that. So you never really know if taking their phones are not going to stop anything, because they can still do in-person bullying or sending letters and like anonymous, nobody ever know who it come from. They can send it through friends or anything. Like it'll be a chain going, just keep on going and going and going. So you don't really know when it will stop until you just stand up for yourself, or because most people, they tell an adult it doesn't help anything. So most people, they decide that they just want to stand up for themselves, and that always doesn't work. Because they'll end up fighting or guns will be involved. You never know what the outcome will be.
You know, years back when I was growing up too, they used to have, we used to have Bible study, I mean, Bible class in school. You think, if they bring Bible study back into school, that would probably help us. Maybe people would, us to do that.
Not with the youth that we have today. I can tell you that. Just because it's my generation, and most people, they don't really care for the Bible if they can read it, but it's not gonna do anything for them. They can say they read it, but they're actually just something else. Like the actions speak louder than words. So, can you really believe them if they actually say they read the Bible? Yes.
You know, saying, you know, we used to have devotion before we went to class in the morning. Years ago, and there were fights, but not like when they bring up nine and go to school. We had devotion in the morning. We had singing and prayer, and anything that was happening in the school, it was some of the students that they found out about it, they go tell the teacher and the principal, and they stop it just like that. And see, that's what happened. They took out prayer in the school. When you all can't come in, yes, it does work. Talking to the Lord does work, and He's the answer. Talking to Jesus, and being with like-minded people like you are. You know, you don't want to be around people that's talking and gossiping and giving people a hard time. Now, I was bullied in church when I was in my 40s.
So you don't, wait, I mean, you don't think, if they were studying love thy neighbor and do unto others that you have them to do unto you, that would probably, if they would, teach that, you know, within Bible study, somebody probably would cut back on it. I think it would help some. If they believe in it, to love thy neighbor, do unto others, you know, I think it would probably help. And then taking the cell phones away while you're in school, it's something that I think we all have to work on. It's going to be something that we all have to work on, probably.
Yes. Like I was saying, I think I was in my 40s. When I was doing in this church. And these two sisters, they called me on my job. I was working at JB. And they said, "Is there something that you want to say to us? Because we're going to have communion."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes." I said, "You know, both of them are two brothers." And I said, "To come to church every Sabbath. And we need to pray before we have communion. And we need to ask for forgiveness." And that's what we did that day. And from that day on, they were my friends. One is deceased now, and one is still living. They're still friends.
And I look back on it, look back at the beginning of the Bible, where God destroyed the world with water, with the flood. You know? Because back then it was everybody was so wicked. God was, they wasn't paying no attention to God. So the whole world was wicked, even the kids was wicked. That's what I'm saying. So it has to start somewhere. It has to start learning from an early age, in school and at home and in the church and everything. And that has to be all part of their lives. It's going to take something right now to turn it around, because I think it's out of hand right now. I think there's too much bullying and stuff going on, and people on the internet and everything. And wherever you go, there's so much going on right now.
Now, you were saying that we have bullets now, you don't know who they are.
The way it works now, people can like send letters to different people to give to the targeted person, but they don't write their name on the letter. So you don't really know who it's coming from, so it's like anonymous. Like how you do cyberbullying, you can post up online about the person, but they don't really know who it is, because we have a screen name, and usually the screen name isn't the actual person's name.
Well, when you part of like a group or something, I mean, how did you get in there? I'm not too familiar with all this computer stuff.
Well, most bullying starts in a group. Like you have friends that don't like, if you have friends that don't like the same person, then the bullying starts there. So they send letters between like each of the friends, and then the friends can like start a chain, giving it to the target person. But you never know who started it, where it's coming from.
So you don't really know. You can't really tell who's actually sending it.
No. They won't write their names on it. It's all anonymous.
So you realize this is work safety, right?
Yes.
And you know how many, that's why we encourage people the parents to come to church and bring their children. Because when you come to the church and you serve the Lord at home, number one, it starts at home. And serving the Lord at home and coming to church every Sabbath and coming to Sabbath school, you will keep those people out. That won't even bother, because people gonna say things, they're gonna do things. And if you talk to the Lord about it, it's gonna get better, much better.
Yeah, and I see when I was coming up, we had like if someone would call you on the phone when I was coming up, they were talking something that you don't want to hear. They had a little button. I just press that little button and click them off. But it's almost the same thing if you have a computer, right? You can cut them off. Right?
You can cut them off, but they'll always find their way back. Because
once you come back online,
social media can have multiple pages, so no matter how many times they blog, report, you can always make another page.
So it's the people that's over the social media. They have a problem when it's wrong.
I wouldn't say that, because they'll like take down the person's page, but the person can always make another page no matter what. So no matter what the people who's over the social media does, there's always a way to get around it.
Do you ever offer prayer? Do you ever offer prayer to people?
Me personally, I haven't met anyone that was actually bullied, and I've never done any bullying, because my friend group is very small, and we're all, I would say, antisocial. We don't talk to anybody, we just stay to ourselves. So we never really got into any mess or any way that would cause bullying. So
well, like say if you had like a whole group of people that follow you online. I mean, when you send out a message to one, everybody get that same message?
not unless you have one in the group chat. You have your personal direct messages, and then you have group chats where you can send a message to the whole group chat, and everybody who's in it will get it.
So if somebody would actually try to bully you online, I mean, you can cut them off, can you get rid of them, or you could
Like I said, you can block them, try to report them, but they always come back. So there's not really a solution to that part yet.
You just pop up on your computer just like that. And you can't do
Because they
it.
already know what your username is, like they already know what your name on social media is.
Can you change it? You change it?
You can change your names, but they'll still be able to find you.
You got private.
Some people do that,
Yeah,
but
I'm not just gonna contact you.
Right.
some people do
You know
that.
who you are.
Yeah.
some people.
Some people do that.
Oh, yeah.
They do have private accounts, so, but that doesn't stop the in-person bullying.
They still
It only
find
stops
out,
the cyberbullying. The only way you can find out who your actual bully is in person is if they come up to you. that's really the only way, when they
Or
finally
rejection.
come up to you and start doing.
Satan is so busy, Satan is very busy.
But I will say this, most of the bullying that happens now, it happens because it all starts in the home. So they're bringing their home problems
Everything
to
starts in the home.
to public, and they're taking all that anger out that's going on at at home to the peers at their school or jobs or anything else.
That's the way it is in the church when people are, church goers. Some of them, it starts at home. All the bickering or whatever going on, and then bring it into the Lord's house is not the place for it.
So, you think, it all should start, yeah, it's like Sister Eva said, I mean, it all should start at home. I mean, if you learn to do good and study the Bible at home, you're gonna bring that to school, and you're gonna bring that, wherever you go, you're gonna have some kind of, background there, some kind of, good foundation there. You won't be doing that.
You can't really say that it was started at home because you never know what the home homes are. Some people don't teach their children about God. But they can't, if they have problems going on at home, like way before then,
Yeah.
does it really matter how they change unless their parents change?
Usually people that bully people are not happy within, they're not happy, so they project it on others by bullying. So it makes them feel better. It takes the attention off of them. Right, right.
That's really what happens, but you got one person that's getting bullied, so if they're getting bullied, they want to take it out on somebody else,
Right.
so the other person can feel their pain.
Yes.
They say hurt people hurt.
Yes. But there's another saying that says, "This is so to make my bones, but your words will never hurt."
Yes.
Words hurt.
Yeah.
Words do hurt,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it gotta be like a rubber band, like just let them bounce off you, don't, like you can ignore it for as long as you want, but if you let it get into your head, then it's stuck and you're not gonna get over it.
Yeah, you don't, yeah, words hurt. I mean, you don't want to say something bad to someone. Yeah, I mean, it hurts. You know, it definitely hurts. You know, I don't care who you are. It has an effect on you. Man.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause look at that little kid, how she's raised. She, she
Mhm.
took her life.
Yes, she
Bullying is
did.
not like it was when we were in school.
Right,
That
right.
was-
You just
that was
fight
your
it
life.
and just lock in the parking lot.
That's normally the outcome of bullying. People get so tired of it, they decide that they want to take up their own lives. So,
They even got the little children. They get tired of being bullied. So they'll get their parents done and bring it to school. They shoot the person and kill them. But they're tired of it. And they done probably went to everybody at the schoolhouse. Went to everybody and complained that nobody's doing nothing. Because they don't take it serious. It can lead to death.
because we've had so many bomb threats, gun threats, all that going on at school over the years, and a lot, especially at Harrison Central. Harrison Central is where it all happens. They have the most problems there, the most threats and everything.
And that's another thing that's really the problem too. Parents are disciplining their children. And see, we got discipline at home, at school, and at church. All the sisters and brothers had to do is just look at us and we straighten up. But yes, that's what's missing. The discipline and the prayer, leaving God out, not praying.
Yeah, that happened. That's I think about when the turnaround came about, when they took out if you done something wrong in school long ago, but you used to, and then when you went home, your parents would do the same thing. It would, so you know not to do that. So when they took all that out of school because of when they started desegregation,
Right.
there's the reason why they took that out of school, because they didn't want the whites to be beating the blacks and the blacks to beat the whites. So, you couldn't think they didn't want that. Parents didn't want that, because, racism and everything else, that was a part of it too.
Yeah.
So they took that out of school, and now it's just, only thing they can change is, well, time out, something like that.
Such things, that time out. And I said, I used to say when I was a teenager and when I was a young adult, and I still say it, I said, wasn't for that discipline and going to church every Sunday for Sunday school, and praying all the time, I said, I probably would have been with some of my friends out smoking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Someone told me in the neighborhood, it was her project, I think it's in, I was a little bit really good at night, I would just pick up a cigarette and I didn't light it, I was just acting like an adult, and one of the neighbors saw it, and she got me, and when my mother got home, and my father got home, they got me, and that stopped that. Yeah, so, people can't even say anything to people's children anymore, because they get upset. When we see them going the wrong way, we don't want them to go the wrong way. And then two people got to be mindful of how they say it to children, how they talk to children.
So, what are y'all's definitions of mental health? Like, what do y'all think causes mental health problems?
Sometimes it can be innate, you can be born with it. And sometimes it is learned. In that environment, like you said, bullying and all that. Yes.
Well, prison can cause mental health. Prison, stuff like that. And, just, childhood trauma, stuff like that. Yeah, but most definitely prison.
Do y'all think there is a solution?
God, prayer, Jesus,
Yeah.
that's the only solution.
You have mental health, it's just, Jesus takes everything away. Because me, myself, I didn't think I could get up there and get on TV, that's what I call it, TV. And I didn't think I could do any of that. I said, oh, Lord, I can do it, too nervous, too shy, but you can do anything when you talk to the Lord. You got to continue to talk to Him.
Well, it also goes back to what Sister Eva was saying, a little bit of what Sister Sims was saying. Childhood trauma, and then she says that, you can't say anything to people's children anymore without feelings. So back in the day, if you remember that saying, it takes a village. I know for us growing up, if our father left us in someone else's care and we misbehaved or didn't do right, they were allowed to spank us. And when we got home, we got enough. So back then, people could go to you and say, I guess the mothers of the church,
Yes.
you felt love. You felt like you had a place to go to and communicate. And you felt the love. Today, it's not like that. So I can see how a person could feel like they don't have anywhere to turn, or my mom's not gonna let anybody say anything to me for whatever reason. So that village, that's not there anymore. So I think that's another another problem. That could be a solution. It's just not there anymore.
A lot of people are still left out. They say if we was like a group, and you was the honest one that wouldn't be part of the group, you feel left out. You feel kind of isolated, And I think a lot of kids in school feel that way. A lot of them feel left out, and I guess they develop some kind of, it probably have an effect on them after a long period of time. I imagine it would if you wasn't part of the group or something like that. It would affect you. I think it would, and probably would have some kind of mental.
So I'm so thankful that my grandmother took us all to church when we were little baby children. We used to walk.
say, if y'all, have y'all ever seen anybody being bullied or heard of it? If you did, what would you do?
I would have probably get something. I'm not saying.
I would, I've seen people, verbally, and I've spoken up. And I just, said, hey, this is not the way you're supposed to do this here. And then both of them, they got okay with each other. But this is like in school years ago. Everything was just, like they said, nip it in the bud right then. They go far.
So let's say you had a friend that was doing the bullying. What would you do? What would you tell your friend, and what would you tell the person that they were bullying?
Yeah, they really wouldn't be a friend.
No, she want to be my friend.
Yeah, they wouldn't be my friend. Yeah.
No, that comes down.
You know, I told you that, that's not right.
That's not right at all.
And I tell a person, I'm sorry, I really don't know what this is about, but that's not right. You're not this, you're not this.
Right.
So would you switch to the other person's side, or would you just leave them both alone?
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna take side, or just, my friend gonna have to know, that wasn't right. I don't like to be around anything like that. And I'm gonna tell the other person, I hate you, look at that, like I said, that's not you, that ain't right. But, yeah, that's not right.
Would if you had a friend that was doing bullying, would you go and tell an adult, or would you let the victim handle it by themselves?
I would go to the door. I would squash it. Not like Sister Tina said. I would let my friend or whoever. That ain't right to do.
Because can you really go to an adult? Because
Right.
schools don't do anything.
No, they don't.
I've seen parents, at their wits' end trying to address bullying in the school. They really don't do anything until it's too late. The person's deceased or something happens where the bully person, takes revenge on everybody. So, being real about it, adults don't do anything. They don't. Schools don't do anything.
Do the parents, both sides of the parents, they don't do anything?
No. Look at that girl in Ocean Spring. It used to be like, if that were us, back in the day, my mom was going to your mom.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, your kid is bullying my kid, your kid's not treating my kid right.
Right.
We need to talk about it.
They
Something
would.
needs to be done.
Parents, and it would not be no problem.
These days,
No. But the parent will want to fight together.
No, I didn't know that. I thought maybe both sides parents used to do that.
that's why I say the kid in Ocean Springs, that's a prime example. So when her daughter, as they say, they unalive herself.
Yeah.
It got to where they took the kids that were bullying her. It's like now everybody took her side. The mom can't even get online. She's banned from getting online and expressing how she feels. But the children who bullied the girl until she passed, they're able to still come online. And they still made fun of her even after she passed away. They still made fun of her. So it's a pretty unfair situation. It's a real ugly story.
It
Check it
really
out.
is. That's
And it's going on right now. Yeah.
But I will say, you do what they see their parents do. So if their parents are bullying somebody, the youth will do it because they think that is okay.
That's true. That's true.
So that all goes back to, it all starts in the home.
Yeah.
If they see their parents bullying another parent, then that gives them okay to be able to bully others. Or let's say they witness a domestic abuse situation, they think that it's okay to be like that. That's another form of bullying. So don't really know where it's gonna come from, or can't really find a clear solution for it, because it's not gonna stop, no matter what you do, no matter how many times you try.
It's not gonna stop.
don't really have any more questions.
I learned a lot, I didn't know it. That,
It's, it's worse than you think, you know, it really is.
I will say this, if you had any advice to give youth today, your youth today, what would you, that were being bullied, that were victims of bullying or doing the bullying, what would you say for them?
Yeah. My sister Tina said homeschool.
I mean, if you actually, in that situation, I would say you probably have to talk to someone. You have to confront the problem. It has to stop. It has to stop. Like, well, I guess when I was coming up, it was like a physical deal. So we had to actually have fist fights, something like that. So it actually has to stop. So something has to stop. So I would say you probably have to talk to someone or get some help there somewhere. It has to stop. It has to stop. It can't continue. Yeah, it has to stop.
I will say that the main way you can tell that somebody is being bullied, they start closing themselves off from the world. They change their style, they start dressing differently, they're more quiet, they're always alone. That's the main effects of bullying. That's how you know somebody has become a victim of bullying.
But those indicators are not just bullying, it's mental health issues, period. So you can't equate that with just bullying.
I know from what
You
I
gotta pay attention to people, and if it's somebody you know, talk to them. At your age, you can talk to people and know what, and try to find out what's going on, if they're really bullied or if it's a mental health issue. You understand what I'm saying?
I know from what I've seen, that was a specific observation for me because it's happened to a friend I had a couple of years ago. We're not friends anymore. That's what she did because she was being bullied. She cut herself off, cut all her friends off, changed her whole personality, her style, everything about her, and just closed herself off of the world, accounts, everything, social media, everything.
One of the things that young people need to do is understand what's happening when they see their friends being bullied. They need to step up to the front. And many times, even adults, when they see people being bullied, they shy away. That's the wrong thing. You should not. Why not give the person who's being bullied support? Why not step up and say, hey, you need to stop your man or whatever it is. And a lot of people don't. Even adults who see other adults being bullied. You see homeless people being bullied by folks, by the rest of us. And we don't say anything. You have to step up and say something. You might not, I mean, bullying's been going on. Look at bullying when I was a child. I'm 80 years old. You could go to school and kids bully people there. But if nobody stands with you, then, I mean, you watch it happen. You know, that's not Christ-like. You must stand there and watch other people being bullied and hurt and just upset. And even adults stand there and watch. And that's something we need to learn is that you have to step up. I taught for almost 40 years. And if children in my room looked like they were up to do something to other children, I gave them the punishment. Because you don't have a right to override anybody else. God didn't give you that right. And so when you see it going on, you have to take a stand. You say you're a follower of Christ and you watch your fellow man being bullied. What's your problem? You're not really following Jesus. Not that way. And so if children don't help each other, and I don't care if you go to church school, you must have to stay there the rest of your life. You can't come out in the real world then if you think that's what's happening to your bully. That's nice. You
it's like saying, everybody wanna be happy. Everybody loves to be happy, everybody wanna be happy, so a lot of times you have to step up and help those that can't help themselves. You want them to be happy too. So, you want to be a good friend, a good neighbor, just try to help them.
I see that more youth have come, so they can get in on the last part of this discussion. That's about bullying and mental health. So the first question I asked them was, has anybody ever been a victim of bullying or been one that was doing the bullying?
Y'all know what bullying is? Anybody ever bully you at school or in the neighborhood? What'd you say? Yes? No? We can't hear you, baby. Somebody was talking a lot if you can. Okay?
And what did you do to help?
You told your grandma. Was it happening at school or was it happening in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood. So your grandma was able to talk to your mother or whatever of the person who was bullying you. Hmm? Okay. Did it stop? Nobody at school bullied you?
Do y'all think that bullying should lead to violence?
Did you understand what she said? No. Do you think that if somebody's bullying you, you should fight? Okay, that's what she's asking. So that question is not there if you know you don't fight.
What would y'all say to people who are victims of bullying?
What do you say to the person that's being bullied? What do you say to somebody, if they were bullying you, what would you say to, what do you say to your sister or your sister when somebody's bullying? A little louder. Sheila, you got to put it up to your mouth. Hey, talk. Yeah, put it up to your mouth.
I would just tell her a teacher or my friend again.
So let's say you stick up for the person that's being bullied. Do you think that they'll turn around and start bullying you, or do you think they'll stop?
I think that's how bullying is.
You tell them. Who should you tell? If it happens at school. The teacher.
No, or the person that makes you fine, because handling yourself well is not the answer, and there's not always a teacher around. So any, like you, a janitor or any the person that you see, just you can tell them. Does anybody have anything else that they like to add?
You all know a song that you can sing? To add to this? Is that okay?
I mean, it is youth dance hall, so we whatever you want. If y'all want to sing a song, I'll come out here and sing a song.
You wanna sing it out of him?
Do you all remember Jesus' love is a bubbling over?
Sing it right out of him.
I can slip first, and kind of guide you.
You wanna sing it out of him?
No, we're gonna sing a children's song. Jesus' love is a bubbling over. You all remember that? Come so I can, in case you get,
The mic up to your mouth.
okay, turn around so you know that. No, turn around.
close out prayer.
Does anybody want to come up here and close out prayer?
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
That's officially the end of our Sabbath school program. We'll be back for the moderation.